Hi, I'm Brad Knowles, producer of Friday Night Flies, hosted by Scott LeBoldis and Scotty Holmes. Enjoy the show. Hi, Scotty. It's Friday Night Flies. Take it away, brother.
Friday Night Flies, like the big man said, I'm Boulder. Welcome to another episode. I guess, who did we have kicking off? Was it Zach?
Zach was here with
a little coho pattern. Yeah, it looked pretty good. He stole my fly.
Just walked in the door.
Well, yeah, stole my fly this week, so I had to do a little switch it down here on this side. But yeah, we're back. It's Friday Night Flies. Ethan's back in the background there. He's trying to get his fly all gathered up. And I'm headed away to the sunny beaches. So that's why I've done up this pattern down here. The Bio Hazard shrimp or prawn. But you know what? I threw this one out there today for the chum. Bam! It's on fire. So all those sea-bearing fish, they all eat the same stuff. They love shrimp. We all do.
Prawns and shrimp. And what is the difference between a prawn and a shrimp? Do you know?
Fresh and saltwater in size. Yeah.
And that's the
But
difference?
typically, I believe it's the difference between a freshwater and a saltwater species.
If you honestly know the difference, maybe we got it wrong, whichever. Post it in the comments below.
How it's classified.
Because I know shrimp grow in fresh water too, right?
Yes.
But prawns don't.
Yes.
Okay.
Prawns are your saltwater
Only.
amphibians. Yeah.
Okay, so
That's what I heard.
let's go down to the
Take her
bottom
down.
here.
Let's
Give it a
get-
slow roll.
Okay. All right, you got your volume down there.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good to go. So there you guys go. You can see this
Oh, here. You know
salty
what?
critter.
One of our fans just checked in and was, if you guys want to participate on live chat, prawns have claws on 3 of their 5 pairs of legs. Shrimps have claws on 2 of their 5 pairs of legs.
I like it.
Their gills and body shapes are different too. As far as cooking them goes, they're virtually identical
Anything
and
goes.
interchangeable. So that's the difference. It's
There
got
you go.
nothing to do with
Claws.
saltwater and
Well, maybe
freshwater.
they grow.
And thank you, Mr. Nolan.
Maybe they grow extra claws in the salt, and they got a couple extra fish to fight off, eh?
So, hey, listen, did we name that one correctly then, or is it a prawn, or is it a shrimp?
I'm gonna say by the amount of claw, I guess it'll be depending on how
many
much
you put
of
in
the
there.
mallard flank that I put in there
Yeah.
will determine whether it's a shrimp or a prawn.
Let's
So
just call it the hybrid.
we're
That's what
going for a prawn tonight.
Okay.
We're gonna go heavy with the legs and claws.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get our fancy Gamakatsu B10S stinger hook in there. Loving these things.
Our friend Rich Woodhouse says shrimp can be put on pizza. Prawns, nope.
Not if you're not from Australia, anyways.
Yeah.
All right, so we get our hook in there. We're gonna load this up with some lead. Help get it down to the bottom. And then we'll secure this lead on there with our thread. Okay, bingo. So we got a nice little layer. Just gonna tighten her up a little bit with my fingers. Get all that lead nice together. And move it towards the eye of the hook. I'm gonna leave a little bit of space there so that I can do a nice neat head afterwards. Put a little dam behind that lead wraps and figure 8 up a bit, and we'll just go back and forth and cover this lead up. Alright, so that ain't gonna go nowhere now. And we're gonna work this thread back to the bend of the hook. And I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna turn this so I can see what's going. Just to where it starts to bend. Now let's put in the first step, which is making these feeder claws. I got some nice mallard flank here. And get rid of some of the stuff in the back. Now, to get real nifty, I'm going to come in here with my scissors. Get rid of the center V. Now you can see how that's cut out. And take just a little bit more here. There we go. So now we're left with this fancy thing. Let's move our thread back a little bit. I'm going to lay this right on top, so we're going to split the hook, making sure that my finishing spot, it lines up with the where we cut that bit of mallard out. And we want to keep it all right on top, so lay it in there nice and careful. Take your time here. I'm just going to move my thread back just a little bit more. Alright, so nice wrap over top. And then work our thread back here. So I just want to make sure that I get these fibers, keeping that vein of that feather right on the top. Just move it around as you go. Keep that vein nice and centered, and just take it back around that bend just slightly. Wrap all the way back up. Secure this all in. And just make sure those stay nice and separate. You can give them a little roughen up a little bit with your fingers. Get all the individual pieces separated. Get it buggy. So you see what happens. You end up with those two sets of legs going on. Now I gotta remember what I did with this fly here. Yep. Alright, so we got that in there. And what I think I'm gonna do first is get some more of the leg action working. So I've got some Chinese cock cape here. One's gonna be for later on, but my first one is gonna help finish up the legs here. So I went and I grabbed a piece that's has some long fibers on it. I'm just going to peel it back so we get some of that thinner vein exposed. Now I'm going to tie this in with the curve facing myself, and we're going to tie it in right down here by these leg fibers. So wrap that in nice and tight. Move your thread back. Grab your hackle pliers. There we go. And I'm just going to do a couple nice wraps, or not. Couple nice tight wraps right on top of each other. So you notice these are kind of splaying forward. I kind of want that though, because it's going to help afterwards. It's going to help keep them from collapsing on the fly. So I'm doing 4 or 5 pretty tightly wrapped wraps in there. There we go. I got a good leg base going on. Bring my thread back, trap it, get rid of the tag. Alright, so I'm just going to take these fibers, I'm going to brush them back a bit, and I'm just going to back wrap a couple of turns. So I'm wrapping back over top of those fibers, so you can see how that keeps them flared out. Just check my coverage around my hook, it's looking pretty good. And then one more wrap. There we go. Looking good. Nice and secure in there. So I went ahead and I spent a day making all these eyes. So you're taking mono, that's 20-pound mono, melting it down, and then putting some UV resin on the end of it to make a ball. And after the UV resin, I dip it into black lacquer. So that's going to give you your eyes for the shrimp. Now we want these guys, and you see there's a natural curve to the mono. We want these guys curving away from our pattern, so we're going to tie one on each side. And I want them to come to about the length of the orange mallard that we got in there. I'm just going to move my thread back just a bit. I'm going to get one in, and then we'll get the other side going on here. Alright, trapping on top, a couple good wraps. Check that positioning. I want it curving away and up.
Why is it that you want the mono curving up, Scott?
So that it gives it that natural look that the shrimp have with their eyes coming up.
Oh, okay.
Looking up.
Looking up. We don't want it to go down. We want them looking up. So we got one side. We got the other side. We'll just make sure that we got these things positioned right. Get those wraps right in tight to right behind, and you could always give this mono a little kink. That'll help keep them out so that they stand out. There we go. So we're going to keep this mono on there. So I'm just taking that back to about where that lead wraps ended. And so that'll kind of smooth out the body here. Get rid of these tag ends. Starting to look shrimpy.
Or prawny.
Or prawny. I'm just going to clean up this body a little bit. Make everything nice and even. Alrighty. Now let's start building this wing on the inside. I'm going to my craft fur.
There's no in between on that exposure. It's either dark or too damn high, too bright.
Alright, so I got my craft for my Bio Hazard craft fur here. Now, Tweezer Man Lash Combo makes this really great little tool. So it's from the cosmetic department.
What is it? It's called?
That's right. It's by Tweezer Man eyelash comb.
It's an eyelash comb.
It's an eyelash comb, but what it's really good for.
Get out of here! That's craft fur's medicine.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I hope you got one of them for me too.
I'll have to find another one for you.
And then you know what? I could actually groom my eyelashes as well while I'm at it.
Alright, so we got the down out of there. Now this wing is going to be about the full length.
Did you get that tip from Zach?
That tool? Yeah. Why? Because he has crazy eyebrows? It's his eyebrow tool?
Zach, do you have a mono eyebrow or monobrow, or is it unibrow?
No, that one I found.
I
found that one all on my own.
You did?
I did. I had a feeling that I would find something like that down there at the pharmacy. So either way, we got our wing, and we're going to be tying this right on top. I want it coming right in between, and it's about double the length of the eyes hanging out of the pattern. You just brush it, and so you can see how it's going to lie nice and even in there. Loose turn to trap it, keep it all together right on top. Move that all the way forward. Check your positioning, looks beautiful. And then I'm going to just tie in the rest of that clump in the back there. Tidy it all up a little. Bingo. Alright, so before I put the topper on, I'm going to put some little antenna feelers out there. So I got some red. I got a piece of red flash and a piece of olive flash. And I'm going to put them together. I'm going to tie one strand of each on one side of the fly. And I want it to extend to the end of that craft fur. So that's the 2 pieces on my side. loop it over, trap it with your thread, and bring the other 2 pieces up the other side. And then if they are a little too long, then trim them. So I want them about the length of that craft fur. Next, a little buoyancy. This just helps to keep that fly riding upright or true. I'm going to grab just a little bit of this white bucktail. Now we don't want to put too much and overpower the chartreuseness. So you see I just got a nice little clump. And I'm going to tie this in just a little bit shy of the end of the craft fur. That gives my craft fur a lot of buoyancy, or a lot of movement. I want this bucktail to be a bit of the backbone. So I got my length there, get rid of the tag ends, and tie it in nice and neat on top. Now once I get it in there, you can see how right on top, once I get it tied towards the end, I'm just going to push down with my thumbnail and spread those fibers out nice and even across the top of this pattern. And a couple last turns in there and lock it all in. Looking good. Perfect. Okay, so let's work on the bottom layers now. We need, there it is, something to secure our hackle wrap that's going to be going on. So that's my super small, thin silver wire. So I got that in there. I'm just going to trap it in with my thread, work it up the side, bring it right into where that bucktail went. Okay, and then I have my other kick Chinese cock here. So now this time, I'm going to tie it in with the curve going down and the tip away from us. So we're going to tie that in there. Get rid of that tag. Tied it all up. You can see as we were building it, and why I keep going back and forth, is it's created a really nice natural taper to the fly. So we got it going from thick to thin. And then last but not least, we're going to do a little dubbing. So what I've been doing is taking a little chartreuse ice dub, and I'm mixing it with that down that's underneath of that bucktail that I've pulled out. Alright, and then I just work it all together so the ice dub gives it that good sparkle. Alright, so let's get ourselves a little chunk here spun on.
Richard Walker wants to send us his Norvise.
Ooh,
try it
yeah.
out. And I said, don't worry, boy. We'll send it. We will work it hard.
I've been looking at those vices. They're pretty neat. They're a whole other skill level.
There's a lot of different vices on the market, man.
Have you seen the Norvices? They like spin like free, like just yeah. So instead of doing your thread wraps, you just use the rotor. Yeah, they're crazy.
Richard's like, I want it back though.
Oh.
Yep.
Ah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, sure.
That's a good deal. All right, so we got that dubbing on there. And before I go too far, I'm going to just rough it up here with our Velcro. Get this thing buggy. Now you could just finish it off like that, but we're just going to add a little more something in there. Did I just rip my... Nope, there it is. See, Sheridan? Alright, so we got that feather. Grab it by the tip. Bingo bango. Just pull these fibers down and palmer them a little bit. Too tight. Alright, so let's see if we can get that back on there again. Bingo. Keeps breaking off. Old school. There we go. Bingo. Bingo. And one more. Trap that feather. So you can see it's just about 4 or 5 wraps. Nice and sparse. Get it in there. Just peel any of those loose ones back. Work your thread back a little bit, creating a little head. Alright, now before we go too far, I'm just going to take my Velcro and comb it down on either side. Again, you're pulling out some of that dubbing that you trapped, but mostly is I'm creating that back so that when I wind up my thread here, it's going to trap those legs in a downward position. So I'm just pulling them down and back towards the hook of the fly. Just like that. Boom. Let's secure that really well. Okay, okay. Let's see if we can use the new tool. Oh, look at that.
Fancy.
Bingo. Bango. Nice little tool from Stonefo. Now, before we go too far, I'm just going to go in there with my little pick and pick some of those legs out. They always get trapped on the one side more than the other, just because of the way that you're wrapping your thread. I just picked some of them out. Now you can see how it makes that nice shape going on there. A little cement and you're done. Bingo.
Hey man, I've been spending more time chatting on the live chat than I have watching your fly.
It's been busy out there tonight.
It has been.
That's good.
I'd like to thank everyone, personally, the fish finder here, for participating in the live chats. Keeps it interesting for the guy behind the camera.
Oh, definitely.
And, we actually really look forward to meeting you all too. So stop by the sport shop here, Spud Valley Sporting Goods, downtown Pembroke, 1380 Birch Street, and stop in and say hi.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, in all that time,
Give that sucker a nice little
that
roll
fly
for us,
is done ski.
That's a beauty. You might have to leave that one behind today, buddy.
And like I said, you know, it is a saltwater fly, but this thing be catching chum.
Like crazy.
Oh yeah. It's not that much different than any of our other ones that we do.
Okay, we'll go up top and we'll get ready to sign out here. And Ethan's got some great patterns for us tonight too.
That he does. So I'm Bowler, thanks for watching. Join us shortly here as we get set up, and Ethan's going to be in here live tying his little pattern up, and check out our new channel. Thanks for all the new subscribers that have poked in this week. Spread it amongst your friends, and we're back for another winter season. It's Friday Night Flies. Love the tug.